Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Asad Yaqub with IELTS reading passage 3. Academic reading. Questions 27 to 40. What's the topic? Environmental practices of big businesses. Alright. Now we understand big companies, big organizations and their environmental practices means how they actually take care of the environment while making their products and all that. Environmental practices of big businesses. Okay. Now let's go to questions. Wow, good attack, huh? Questions 27 to 31. Complete the summary using the list of words A to J. Okay. Now let's see. We've got this summary, and usually in summary completion, questions and answers, they are in the same order. If there is one summary, you will find the answers in one paragraph. If there are two separate summaries, then you will find the answers elsewhere as well. Now, we need to find actually the synonyms of these words. Funding, model standards, flooding, trees, control, overfishing, rare species, involvement, worker support. So, in the passage, they will use the synonyms of these words. Let's take a start. Many big businesses today are prepared to harm people and the environment in order to make money, and they appear to have no. See that sometimes they say they have no something. Okay, now we are going to go back and see big businesses today prepare to harm people and the environment in order to make money. That is our clue word. They appear to have no, and appear is another good word, right? Now let's go back and we just take a start. First paragraph, because usually we should start with the first paragraph, the first type of questions. Environmental practices of big businesses are shaped by a fundamental fact that for many of us offends our sense of justice. Okay, depending on the circumstances, a business may maximize the amount of money. That's what they said. Maximize the amount of money it makes, at least in the short term, okay, by damaging the environment and hurting people. Okay, that is still the case today for fishermen, unmanaged fishery without quotas and all that, for international logging and all that. Okay, now actually when they say logging companies with short-term leases on tropical rainforest land in places with corrupt officials, what do? Now these are big companies. Number one, fishermen, the fishery companies without any quotas they are doing, and for international logging companies with short-term leases on tropical rainforest land in the places with corrupt officials and unsophisticated landowners. Now just see what is it that we can find for corrupt officials, unsophisticated landowners, right, or something like offends our sense of justice and all that. Let's see. Make money and they appear to have no. Now see that they go for these things: corrupt officials, unsophisticated landowners and all that. So they appear to have no. Funding, no. Moral standards, yes. I tell you why. See, when companies go for corrupt officials, unsophisticated landowners to make money and all that, so actually that is moral standards, and they appear to have. I mean, when you bribe the people, you appear to have no moral standards. When you do corruption, you appear to have no moral standards. So actually D is the right answer for this. Now this continues. After full stop, lack of dash by governments and lack of public can lead to environmental problems such as. Now lack of dash by government. Now there is something which is lacking by government. We will look for the word government and see what is the answer. Here I found the word government. Okay, so they say, yeah, here also. When government regulation is effective, okay, and when the public is environmentally aware, environmentally clean big businesses may outcompete dirty ones, okay. But the reverse is likely to be true if government regulation is ineffective. Okay, so what is it that they say? lack of dash by government. Lack of what? They say true if government regulation is ineffective. Lack of regulation or ineffective, and if the public doesn't care. Now let's see what is going to be the answer. Lack of dash by government. Funding, no. Flooding, no. Trees, no. Yes. When government is ineffective, that means lack of control by governments. See that? When government is going to be ineffective, that's what they said here. Government regulation is ineffective. That means lack of control by government. Control is E. So for question number 28, the right answer is E. And lack of public. I read the word public. And if the public doesn't care. Public doesn't care. Now let's see any word that shows doesn't care. Funding, no. Flooding, no. Trees, no. Overfishing, no. Rare species, no. Involvement, let's see. They said government and lack of public. Now lack of public, and here they said public doesn't care. When public doesn't care, it means there is no involvement of public, right? So lack of involvement. Basically the answer is going to be by governments, and lack of public involvement can lead to the environmental problems. So involvement is actually F. For 29, F is the right answer. This is IELTS reading, huh? Yeah, sometimes it boggles my mind as well. Can lead to environmental problems. Now such as, what are the environmental problems? Dash or the destruction of. Okay, I know. They talked about two environmental problems in the beginning. Like they said, depending on the circumstances, a business may maximize the amount of money it makes, at least in the short term, by damaging the environment and hurting people. Okay, that is still the case today for fishermen in an unmanaged fishery. Fishermen in an unmanaged fishery without quotas, and for international logging. Now two things. One is fishermen in an unmanaged fisheries. So what is it that they say? Can lead to environmental problems such as. Now we see what is going to be the answer for this. Such as funding, no. Flooding, no. Trees, no. Such as overfishing. I tell you why. Okay, I tell you why overfishing. Because they said that is still the case today for fishermen in an unmanaged fishery without quotas. Now fishermen in an unmanaged fishery without quotas, that means they are overfishing. So one of the things is overfishing. Environmental problems such as H, overfishing for question number 30. Or destruction of. Now they are destroying the trees also. They mention, okay, fishery without quotas, and for international logging companies. Now logging companies destroy the trees. They cut the trees. You should know this thing. And then they mentioned with short-term leases on tropical rainforest. Now let's see if there is anything like tree. Oh yes, we do have. See that here? Okay, or the destruction of actually trees, but you will not write the word trees, you will only write B. This is how we do summary completion type of questions. Now did you notice one thing? We only used 1, 2, 3, 4 words, and so many words are extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words are extra. Okay, so this is how you guys can manage with this thing. All the best, guys. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub truly wishes you best of luck. Take care. Allah Hafiz.